Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm back. I don't know what I said, you know, but I'll let you know what was going on during my ramblings. And miraculously, I have memory. Um, I don't want to go into it too much. I don't really want to say anything negative either, just in case something positive has happened and I have been helped. And if so, thank you very much. Thank you for allowing me to be back. Right. I am a bit nervous because it's one thing to do this when you think nobody's really listening, and it's another to. Well, anyway, I wanted to do something for a long time. I wanted to get into this. Let's just get into this straight away. And it kind of coincides and follows up from my last community post. Right, Proverbs 31. The words of Lemuel, king of Massa, which his mother taught him. What, my son? What son of my womb? What shall I advise you, my son, my vows and my dedication to Elohim? Give not your strength to loose women, and not your ways to those who and that which ruin and destroy kings. Gentlemen, at the end of the day, you can complain, you can say women this, women that, blah, 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 but you make the choice. You make the choice, you know? And you should be patient in your ways so you can make that choice wisely. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, or for rulers to desire strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law, and what it decrees, and pervert the justice due any of the afflicted. Give strong drink and medicine to him who is ready to pass away, and wine to him in bitter distress of heart. If your friend needs you, he's having a tough time, go out and have a drink. Listen, you know, go out, talk properly, guys. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and seriously remember his want and misery no more. This is like for homeless people. Like I've done it once, sometimes in the winter times. Here you go, Paul. There's you go. Bottle of vodka. Stay warm. And drink seriously. Remember his misery. Open your mouth for the dumb, those unable to speak for themselves, for the spirits of all who are left desolate and defenseless. It can get you into trouble, as I know all too well. But if it's in you, it's in you. Some people are quite meek. Some people don't like the confrontation. But, you know, there are times when a man's got to be a man. You just got to step in. You got to speak up, especially in these times when we've got incompetent, corrupt, many, many words. Foolish, incompetent, corrupt, compromised, greedy leaders. Call them out. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and administer justice for the poor and needy. A capable, intelligent, and virtuous woman. Who can find her? This is Proverbs 31:10. Bang! Beautiful. King James Version. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Isn't that so true today? Isn't that so true today? For the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Okay, 16, when I get to 16. Okay, she will do him all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships loaded with foodstuffs. She brings her husband's household food from far country. She rises while it is yet night and gets spiritual food for her household and assigns her maids their tasks. You know, if you grew up in hard times like 70s and 80s, and especially which many of us did, we grew up with single parents, you remember your mother, especially like me being the youngest. You know, my mum stirring my ready break, making sure it's not too hot, putting it on the windowsill to cool. She's got all our breakfast ready, getting us prepared to go to school. You know, big sister's gonna walk us all to school. You know, and then after that, when you're at school, your mum, she goes to work. And then when big sister comes to collect you from school, mum ain't there. Mum's still working. She's gone to do the second job. She's gone to do the third job, to put food on the table. Make sure you have nice things. Make sure you don't get bullied at work, at school, sorry. You know, mums work hard, man. I got those memories. These are virtuous women. This is the virtuous woman the Bible talks of. She considers a new field before she buys or accepts it, explaining prudently and not courting neglect of her present duties by assuming other duties. With her savings of time and strength, she plants fruitful vines in her vineyard. You know, like the female lioness, you know, she just gets it done. And all her endeavors are for the whole family. You know, all this talk of knocking women these days, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Yeah, I mean, yes, women are changing, but sometimes we have to look within, like, and see what part we've played. I know what part I've played. And, you know, every little girl grows up with that Prince Charming and dreaming of her wedding, and it's us who knock it out of them. Yeah. So we need to talk to our sons, our nephews, our little brothers. Guys, this is what's great about the Bible, and this is what a lot of people hate about the Bible. You see, if a couple are living by Bible terms, then the woman's like, okay, you know what? You could be the man. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, be the man. And you know, a man living by the Bible knows he's got a lot of responsibility. The responsibility is on him, which is why a lot of guys hate it. Which is a lot of guys, they don't want you around when they find out you're in this book. You're in the way. You're a man of the Bible now. Guys don't want you around. They don't want you around. They don't like you anymore. Yes, so Proverbs 31:16, she considers blah 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 da, 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 and it says go to Song of Solomon 8. Song of Solomon 8 is good. You read that, read it carefully, please, ladies. God doesn't give you everything, but you know, good men, righteous men, men who see the truth now. We learn to see past these silly things. You know, anyone who looks perfect on the outside, there's something seriously wrong up here, or they're damaged in here, right? That's just fact. I'm sorry, like the age I've got to, it's just fact. People who look perfect on the inside, they're imperfections are on the inside. So yeah, go to Song of Solomon 8, read that carefully, and it talks about the vineyard, and it talks about towers and everything. Read it carefully, see what it says to you, ladies. See what it says to you, ladies. Recently I had a job in somewhere around St. Paul's, and I met a lovely young lady, and I was trying to explain these things, you know, and I totally forgot about Song of Solomon 8, and I should have went to that, but it's hard to introduce scripture to people who are far from it, you know. And sometimes you can see like a woman when she's got all her barriers up, she's been hurt, and she is doing this whole independent woman thing, but you can see the pain behind it, and you think somebody hurt you, and you just want to tear it all down and tell her to let it all out. Come on, speak to me. Like, I don't know, but you know, when it's hard for women to trust us, it's very hard. And we're just going around in circles. It's like we hurt them, they hurt us. We hurt them, they hurt us. And it's just like, guys, who's going to step up and say, do you know what? It's time, guys, that we stepped up. And if you like a girl, you like a woman, get to know her. And then eventually, if you want to make that decision, take your time, slow, go courting, right? I'm going to come back to that, courting. And then you sit her down and you talk to her properly. Talk. You might have to take the lead and just be vulnerable and talk about what's hurt you, what's disappointed you in the past. And then maybe she'll open up. We're the men, aren't we? After all, come on, man. Right. Proverbs 31:17. She girds herself with strength, spiritual, mental, and physical fitness for her God-given task, and makes her arms strong and firm. She tastes and sees that her gain from work with and for God is good. Her lamp goes not out, but it burns and continually through the night of trouble, privation, or sorrow, warning away fear, doubt, and distrust. Come on, guys. Is that not your single mother who brought you up? Come on, guys. And even if people did grow up like both parents, how good was mum? Like, when you were young and you hurt yourself, you didn't run to daddy, you ran to mummy, didn't you? You ran to mummy. You see? And even like, I have older sisters, you know. I remember when I was small and I was like just fresh out of nursery, breaking out into the playground, and a bully came to me, and my sister, she put him down straight away. She put him down straight away, and she got in big trouble for that. But, you know, these are memories, early memories. She lays her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She opens her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her filled hands to the needy, whether in body, mind, or spirit. I see a lot of women giving alms. Yeah, I do see a lot of women giving alms. It's just like hot water and wheatgrass. Very good, very nice. Well, not in taste, but nice for the body. You know, so many generous women. Aunties, grandmas, you know, they always want to feed you, make sure you're okay. Oh, you're too skinny, eat. She fears not the snow for her family, for all her household are doubly clothed in scarlet. She makes for herself coverlets, cushions, rugs, and tapestry. Her clothing is of linen, pure and fine, and of purple, such as that of which the clothing of the priests and the hallowed cloths of the temple were made. Her husband is known in the city's gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes fine linen and garments and leads others to buy them. She delivers to the merchants girdles or sashes that free one up for service. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and her position is strong and secure. She rejoices over the future, the latter day or time to come, knowing that she and her family are in readiness for it. Getting ready for times to come. She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom. Right, I'm going to reference that. Give me a sec. She opens her mouth, and skillful and godly wisdom on her tongue is the law and kindness, giving counsel and instruction. She looks well to know things. As well, young ladies, when you want to take counsel about men, take it from a virtuous woman, a woman who's in a long relationship or has a husband, a marriage. Don't take advice from spinsters, lonely spinsters. Don't take it from your single friends. Unless, what I've learned is, when someone's giving advice and counsel, if they can't also say, this is what I did wrong, then sometimes pinch of salt. Because there are a lot of people out there who say, oh, he did this, he did that, oh, she did this, she did that. It's like, okay, but what did you do? Where was I? Sorry. Husband is known against the elders of the land. Yep, for service. Strength for dignity. She opens her mouth, yes. She looks well to know things. She looks well to how things go in her household. And the bread of idleness, gossip, discontent, and self-pity she will not eat. None of this housewives gossip and all that business. No Made in Chelsea. No Marriage at First Sight. You know, all those nonsense TV programs. Gossip. Foolishness. She will not eat. Her children raise up and call her blessed, happy, fortunate, and to be envied. And her husband boasts of and praises her, saying, many daughters have done virtuously, nobly, and well, with the strength of character that is steadfast in goodness. But you excel them all. Guys, can you talk about your wife or your girlfriend like that? Until I can. Charm and grace are deceptive, and beauty is vain, because it is not lasting. But a woman who reverently and worshipfully fears the Lord shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise. Let her own works praise her in the gates of the city. What does that mean today? That's all. When I'm reading this book, I always think, what does that mean today? I don't know what time it is. I know what time it is. And there are a lot of pretenders out there. It's so easy to pretend. And because I have faith, I'm just waiting till it's all said and done, until everyone's passed through the sieve, and we'll see what's left over. You know, those who are thin and weak will just pass through that sieve. We'll see what's left over in the sieve, and then, because it can't be that, maybe another 3-4 years, 5 years, who knows. It's gonna be worth the wait. I'm sorry, it's gonna be worth the wait. So where was I saying? She opens, 31:26. She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom, and her tongue is lawful in kindness, giving counsel and instruction. Now, I just want to reference something from this book, England's Other Countrymen. Really interesting book. You should read it. It absolutely blew me away. I blitzed through it, and it confirmed a lot of things, and it shocked me as well. Like, one of the things, just for example, it just confirmed that racism was an invention, you know, and Europe was a multicultural society, and we could just got along. Like, it was fascinating to see somebody black, and like shopkeepers wanted, like, oh, can your daughter, we want your daughter to come and work in our shop. Right. Even in the male dominated early modern English society, women privately had the power to legitimize the authority and power of men. With a word, women could bring down dynasties or raise them up. Often women exercised this power behind closed doors. Only occasionally did they intrude on the public sphere. The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. Women raised generations of rulers in England. Women, knowing their power, found innovative ways to retreat behind the powder puff or petticoat and still control English society. Really, 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 really nice. That's just a brief. I wanted to read more, but like let's keep this. So where was I talking about before? Yeah. Okay, that's what I said before. Courting. Yeah, guys. You know what I mean? Stop complaining and start courting. Ladies, keep it closed. Anyone who comes back and he ain't getting any, obviously he likes you for you. You know? And if he wants to actually talk, it's easy to get caught up in banter. Banter. It's all about the bants, you know? You know, it can just distract you easily. I know everyone wants to have fun, everyone wants to have laugh, but you want to know that your partner is there for you when life gets real, and not somebody who just tenses up or just tries to laugh their way through serious situations and make jokes out of everything. It's just like, come on, please. So, a virtuous woman. I'll end on that. This Bible is interesting. There's a lot in there for women. You know, there's Esther as well. But I wanted to go for the Apocrypha. Judith. Judith was a very interesting book. I just want to read a bit of Judith. Okay, she doesn't really appear until like the 8th chapter. It just talks about men and warriors and kings and blah, blah, blah. Israel is about to be surrounded once again. Why? Because, we were full of sin. we forgot our God and blah blah blah. You just, come on guys, you must have seen it by now. It's just a reoccurring pattern, constantly, 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 constantly. So, chapter 8 of Judith. And this is what I keep saying, like everybody knows but you. It's time to wake up. It's time to realize who you are. It's time to be who you are, because when you keep reading this book, when you keep, especially the Apocrypha, it's so loud and clear in the Apocrypha that everybody else knows who you are but you. Now in those days, Judith heard about these things. So yeah, the armies have come, they've encamped around. Things are getting desperate in the camp of the children of Israel. And so, okay, now in those days, Judith heard about these things. She was the daughter of Merari, son of Ox, son of Joseph, sons. Her husband, Manasseh, who belonged to her tribe and family, died during the barley harvest. For as he stood overseeing those who were binding sheaves in the field, he was overcome by the burning heat, and took to his bed and died in his town, Bethulia. So they buried him with his ancestors in the field between Dothan and Belamon. Judith remained as a widow for 3 years and 4 months. At home, where she set up a tent for herself on the roof of her house, she put sackcloth around her waist and dressed in widow's clothing. She fasted all the days of her widowhood, except the day before the Sabbath and the Sabbath itself, the day before the new moon and the day of the new moon, and the festivals and the days of rejoicing of the house of Israel. She was beautiful in appearance and was very lovely to behold. Her husband Manasseh had left her gold and silver, men and women servants, livestock and fields. And she maintained this estate. No one spoke of her ill, for she feared God with devotion. Read Judith, please. Women, read Judith. You know, she was beautiful, but you just need to read it. Like, she's just gangster. Right. She didn't abuse her. Well, read it. Okay, so, you know. What else? Yeah, that's it. I had some. Yep, Judith, tick. Yep. Yeah, so guys, come on, man. Like, this is what I say. Like, if you get to the age of 30 and you don't want a wife, you're just a boy who wants new toys, you know. Looking for that escape, hoping something better will come along. Yeah, you're just a boy who wants new toys, you know. It's nice to reference the children. You see it. A boy has a nice toy. He sees another boy with another toy. He wants to take it. As soon as another boy comes to play with that toy, he's like, no, you can't play with my toy, but I'm going to play with your toy. That can't be you anymore, guys. This is what's going to get you killed. I've been there. Anyone who knows me from the past, yes. I'm not exactly a hypocrite because I've changed now. I've had godly counsel. I've done my soul searching. And I have seriously paid the price. Seriously. Because you may talk about curses in the Bible, but some of us, we actually go through our own personal curses. you know. And this is why I was told again today that I was a sinner and for having these, and I just had to break it down for them, like you know, when Moses went up to the mountain and he had the commandments, he had the tablets and he threw the tablets. Why did he throw the tablets? What did he throw the tablets at? He threw it at the graven, molten image of the calf. What did they make the molten image of the calf of? And then I had to break it down. Have you read Ezekiel 16? How Heavenly Father actually says, I put earrings in your ears. This is why I like, people could be screaming, Jesus, you're a sinner, da 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 da, on the streets. But, you know, there's one thing. They want to be known. They want to be saved. They want the Father to know them. But if you ain't reading, you don't know the Father. So how can you say you honestly have a relationship if you ain't reading his word, if you don't know the story, beginning, middle, of end, you don't know backstory, you don't know bloodlines, you don't know it's actually about the children of Israel. And the church comes much later. And please don't forget, like Yahusha, Jesus, he comes at the end. I don't know. I just lost my chain of thought there. Because people, that bugs me a lot when people could just come at you and then you test their Bible knowledge and it's like, okay. And you see them make all excuses. Oh, I just hate people saying, oh, well, I like all the books of the Bible. And this is like, oh, come on. Talk to me about one story which really resonated with you. Okay, where was I? Yeah, guys, you get to a certain age, you gotta want a wife. This stuff is gonna get you killed. It's gonna get you killed. We're damaging our women. We're hurting, and then our women can really crush you, guys. Can really crush you, especially if you're not. What's the word? If you're just like a different kind of guy, like, you know what I mean? There are many types of men. And this is where we gotta watch out for society and for teachers and everything, because they're trying to tell boys that if you're not this kind of boy, like football and fighting and blah blah blah, then you know where I'm going. Okay. So Judith, yeah, I've done in train. Yeah, courting, guys. So you've only got yourself to blame if you want to choose fast women, if you want to choose women that's not for you, a woman that's out of your league, because maybe she will just use you as a stepping stone, you know, as a stepping stone. Nobody's taken her out for a while. She just wants to go out and feel special, you know. Maybe she'll choose the place and she actually fancies the barman, so she'll take you out on a date so she can be seen in her wonderful dress with a date to make him jealous. You know, people do these things. People do these things. So courting. So today's subject, the virtuous woman. One of my favourite films. I'm not afraid to say this because I saw this film at a very crucial time, 2019. I saw a film and it just blew me away. Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Like, even the dance routines, I loved it. Like, just really liked it. And I watched it. I just had to watch it again, like 6 months later, and I've got it in my memory, like on my set-top box. I really like this film, and people can laugh all they want and they say this and that and musicals, and it's a Bible-based film. And guys, if you really sit and watch this film, it's actually a man's film. In my honest, humble opinion, it's a man's film. And it's all about Millie, a virtuous woman. She just schools everybody through the whole film. She just schools everyone. Everyone. No nonsense. Strong. And what it describes here in Proverbs 31, that's what she is. 7 brides for 7 brothers. You might just learn something, guys, from this film, because I did. And I thought, that's what I want. That's the kind of wife I'm looking for. Strong, cannot be fooled, no nonsense. See manipulation coming from a mile away. A virtuous woman. Millie, 7 brides for 7 brothers. I could go through many other examples, but I wanted to keep straight to the point. And what did I want to finish up on? Yeah. So hoping you'll have a King James. Proverbs 31, the virtuous woman. Let's turn to Luke 8:46. Because women, you're very important to us. Even though sometimes we don't realize it. Us men, we get beaten up by the world. We get beaten up by other guys. You know, just this constant competition, the bravado, the pretense, you know. But many of us, we survive. Some of us survive by using this. Some of us survive by using this. Some of us survive by using this. There's a time for everything. You know? Different men have different purposes. And we're going to see that. We're going to see that. It's not always about the mighty men. So Luke 8:46. This is just something I really liked, and it was just like bing, and I was like, wow, okay. Proverbs 31, the virtuous woman. Luke 8:46, King James Version. And let's go to 45, yeah. And Jesus said, "Who touched me?" When all denied, Peter and and they that were with him said, "Master, the multitude throng thee and press thee, and sayest thou, Who touched me?" And Jesus said, "Somebody hath touched me, for I have perceived virtue is gone out of me." Amplified Version, Luke 8:46. For Jesus said, "Someone did touch me, for I perceived that healing power has gone forth from me." Ladies, you are our charging station. You are our healing power. We go out into the world, it beats us up. It drains us of our energy. We come home for recharging. So charge us up and send us back out into the world. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I'm a bit rusty, a bit nervous. But after getting down and looking down, don't forget to look up and around. People need you. I hope you're doing this thing with me. I hope you're learning. I hope you did your homework from last Sabbath. I'm going to post something either tomorrow morning or late tonight. I'm not sure what. And I also want you to know that the Bible is funny. It is funny until it's not. No, I'll leave that for another day. I'll leave that for another day. All right. Sabbath starts soon. Good night, folks. You know, I don't know. Walls are closing in. Things are getting difficult. And there are a lot of people out there talking about Christ and our Heavenly Father, but let's go to the next level, guys. Next level. I can clearly see, like, you say popular phrases from the Bible, but it's time to really get in. It's trying to really get in. Let's hear more. Let's go in depth. Let's not talk about little snippets. Let's come on, read a paragraph, read a chapter. Come on, guys. I want to hear you talking about your Sabbath. I want to hear you talking about what you've overcome. I want to hear you talking about what you sacrificed. Next level stuff, because as we're drawing nearer, you really are going to get tested. And if he knows what's in your heart and you're a pretender just for your likes and your subscribes and this and that and blah, 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 your test is not going to be nice. It's not going to be nice. It's not. Anyway, like, it's just mad things are happening as well. It's just like some things are hard to believe, they're hard to prove. You know, and all of us, guys, all of us doing this, we have our mockers and our scoffers. Actually, I want to do a video on mockers and scoffers. If they give me the chance, if they don't shut me down. Mockers and scoffers, and this, I do. Yeah, there are mockers and scoffers out there, guys, for us. Really taking the piss out of our channels. Excuse my language, sorry. And this is just not funny anymore. Times are coming, their time is coming, they will be shut down. And it's time to really stand up and declare. I don't know what's going to happen to me from the next day to the next week to the next month. But something's telling me it's all to prove who you are, whether you're all in. Because 2021 was a huge test for all believers, and a lot of people failed. A lot of people failed. And like I said, yeah, that's it, back on there. But strange things are happening. We are all one family. Things are happening on the continent. Our faith, our prayers are reaching far and wide. I don't know, sometimes this is what I mean by mockers and scoffers. It's just like, what's the point in mocking and scoffing if you're not doing this? You will never understand. You will never understand. Some things happen and it's just like you can't actually believe. And then that fear and trembling just comes on. And you think, oh, really? And you think, oh, that can't be. And you think, nah, that is mad. That can't be. like possibly communicating with someone from the other side of the world just through something random, something unexpected. You have to be very careful, very careful, very careful. And I've been messed about with so much, like so much. The mind games, the gaslighting, the manufacturing scenarios, like all to mess with your faith. That's the main goal. That is the main goal, guys, to mess with your faith, to mess with your faith, to mess with your faith. And I want you to realize what time it is. Don't expect God to be doing amazing things in your life because the workers of iniquity are out there. They know who you are. They've been watching you for a long time. They're monitoring you. And then just when you think you're about to get it, they snatch it away from you. They make sure it doesn't happen. There's people around you who are agents, who have demons inside them, who are taking 30 pieces of silver to mess with your world, to take your belief away. That's what it's all about. If you're of the blood, it's all about taking your belief away. So expect hard times. Expect to be messed with. Just be on guard. Be vigilant. Pay attention. Yeah? Because I've been dwelling on this situation a lot, and I just think, you know what? How far has this been going on? How many times, like over the centuries, over the decades, how many people have lost their faith and given up because of the church saying, God is your sugar daddy, he's going to give you everything, and Jesus is your get out of jail free card. That kind of doctrine has ruined people's faith. Plus, as well, not actually reading and find out who Yahuwah Alua actually is. He's a great and terrible God. And he can cut you down like that. I'm reading people just making simple mistakes and they're giving up the ghost and they're put to be buried with their fathers. You know? Whew. It's super deep. It's super deep. Expect pain. Expect tears. Expect disappointment. Expect hardship. These are your trials. This is walking through the fire. This is dying daily. And it's harder on us. We made the covenant. Because so much is going to be given to so few. There's going to be death and destruction everywhere, even on the continent. Like it talks about ye Ethiopians and blah, blah, blah. And you guys in Ethiopia and blah, 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 just go back and look at maps and such. Ethiopia meant a majority. Ethiopia superior, Ethiopia inferior. It meant a big chunk of Africa. It didn't mean what Ethiopia means today. Ethiopia meant a lot of African countries. Get ready, people. You know what I mean? Get ready to swim down. You're gonna need it. Men's hearts will fail. They're like these are so serious. I see and I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean? And some things in this Bible, like they're like personally for you, and it's like, what? Acts 6:2. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And then sometimes you have to sit and think, oh yeah, you will sit and ask God, what's your purpose? What am I going to do in the kingdom? Selah, Selah, Selah. And then you can't sleep and you're left thinking, just dwelling on things for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And the fear and trembling. And you're just reading this book, son, you're bursting out laughing, and it's just like, oh, well, that's not funny. And that's when you love the book, you love the word, and you can genuinely say that you love God. Next level stuff. And you just wish somebody would approach you and talk to you properly about the Bible. That's long enough, sorry. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's so daunting. But you know, Chronicles. That's the way I see it now with us. Because there is few of us. We know who we are. We know. And it is daunting. You have the fear and trembling. You don't want to get ahead of yourself. You don't want to get exalted. But you just have to think Chronicles. Pray. Read. Praise. Help. Which I hope this is what I'm doing. Destiny is all.